We are quickly approaching Season 10 Worlds, which will take place across Europe this year. Now is a perfect time to reflect back on the results from MSI and Rift Rivals to see what predictions we can reasonably make. MSI 2019 crowned the first Western International Champion in G2 Esports since Season 1 Worlds in 2011.
From Europe, a world record G2 Esports!
Season 1 Worlds is often left out of Worlds discussions since multiple regional servers, including China and Korea, weren't even released until after the championship. The MSI Finals also featured two Western teams for the first time, again since Season 1, with Team Liquid from the LCS. Despite these amazing MSI results, the group stages looked grim for both Western teams as they ended near the bottom of the group standings. In fact, Team Liquid barely qualified with the last seed, only having one more win over the Flash Wolves. Everyone thought the story had already been told before the knockout stages began. After a glimmer of hope from Worlds last year, NA and EU were destined to sit at the bottom of the major regions again. Except that's not exactly what happened. Team Liquid surprised everyone in their semi-final game against defending world champions Invictus Gaming, and G2 pulled out a 3-2 win over Faker and SKT, putting both teams through to the finals. Although MSI is not the main event of the year, and many will argue that a lot will have changed by Worlds, MSI has historically proven to be a great indicator of regional success. Since 2016, the region of the team that wins MSI goes on to win Worlds, starting with SKT in 2016 winning both MSI and Worlds. In 2017, SKT won MSI and Samsung went on to win Worlds. In 2018, RNG won MSI and IG went on to win Worlds. The only exception to this rule was in 2015, where EDG won 3-2 over SKT, who were the eventual team to win Worlds. So, although MSI has a couple limitations, it has proven to be a relatively good indicator of regional strength. From MSI results alone, this should imply a EU victory this year, or at the very least, an NA victory.
It's obviously a bit different in the sense that there's nothing online really. You know, we don't win anything, we don't lose anything regarding no matter the results. So we're just playing for honor, I feel like.
Rift Rivals is a tournament that showcases regional rivalries like EU versus NA and China versus Korea. It features the top 3 to 4 teams from each region based on spring split rankings. In both the group and bracket stages, all teams are required to play matches to some extent, so all teams contribute to their own regional Rift Rivals success. This year, EU was greater than NA, which is relatively consistent with what occurred at MSI. Rift Rivals in Asia presented a final between China and Korea where Korea prevailed. There also seems to be some relationship between Rift Rivals' success and the regional success at Worlds. In 2018, EU won over NA and China won over Korea at Rift Rivals. And if you remember, 2018 Worlds eventually featured a final between IG and Fnatic. There are several limitations to consider as well for Rift Rivals. It's essentially a best of one, where many teams try new interesting things with their player rosters and picks, simply because there's not much at stake. Fortunately, since all teams are playing at 60% of their potential, we can still make general comparisons. All in all, if I had to place my bets on a region to win Worlds this year, it would have to be either EU or Korea. Both EU and Korea won their regional Rift Rivals this year, and both had arguably the strongest showings at MSI. Both regions are also hungry for a title, as EU has recently fallen short but have the confidence given an MSI victory. Korean teams are poised to reclaim their throne as the untouchable region. Considering the discrepancies between the MSI group stage and bracket stage, it really is hard to tell who will pull through. finally seems like anything can happen, even given a full-length best-of-5 series. And at the very least, the MSI and Rift Rivals results hint at an exciting tournament to come. I for one can't wait.
The way C9 plays brings me pain. Sneaky better in a dress than a bot lane. It's a shame. Sven was supposed to enhance this. More TSM chance than international chances. But it's cool. I'll get Rick Box for you. He's Iron 2. Better than half of your